I think that we can all agree that not all adults are qualified or deserve to be parents.
The animal was caught on camera, brutally beating a 3-year-old boy, according to authorities. Police officers were dispatched to the apartment complex around 5:20 p.m. to investigate the assault. Waco police said Paul Thames, 29, is the man seen in the Ring doorbell camera footage allegedly beating the child.
When I saw this video, and I will not put it here because I do not want to scar you guys, it's a reminder to me that parents are the first point of contact when it comes to how a child will actually interact with another person.
True. That's true. And yeah, that's true.
Whether it's in a loving manner, in a toxic manner, in a physically abusive manner. Parents can either ruin the child or set up the child for success.
The Ring doorbell footage captured this monster picking up the toddler and hitting him at least 5 times in the torso with a closed fist. The boy was heard crying as the man pulled him up by his face and asked, "Are you going to stop playing?" The man then walked away with the child. Police say the child was taken to a hospital where he was evaluated and later released. So what about the uncivilized mutt? He surrendered to authorities and was charged with injury to a child, a 3rd-degree felony. He was given a $200,000 bond.
So when we say that charity begins at home, most people do not understand the weight of that statement. This child is 3 years old. What does a child need to do or know that at 3, he or she deserves this kind of treatment from their parents? And the answer is nothing.
Stop it. Get some help.
And this is what happens when people just find themselves as parents. This is what happens when people just find themselves in a relationship with anybody. They forget to learn the skills of what it is to be in a healthy relationship. They also don't learn the skills of what it is to be a healthy, active, and present parent.
It's a huge problem. The huge problem. That is a huge problem.
It's not just big, it's huge.
Parents like this should not even be allowed in society because these are things that only people see when they live with them. This child was admitted into the hospital, and I do not know where this child is, but it tells you that when it comes to disciplining your child, there's a level at which it gets to that it can be or should be considered as abuse.
Emotional damage!
I am not against discipline, because discipline is needed for some cases. Because children, if you leave them to their devices, they will just put themselves in harm's way. But there's a healthy way of disciplining your child, especially when you can do this out in public. Outside of your house. It tells you that you have no discernment. If you can do this to a child outside, imagine what this child is going through inside the house. It lets me know that this child was running away from something, or he was running away from someone, because the child innately knows that he's in a place that is dangerous.
I don't understand why he is a danger to society. Why give someone a bond? I mean, I know a $200,000 bond ain't the easiest bond to make, but why even give him a chance at it? Why? Like, somebody like that don't deserve bond. They do not deserve to be in society.
Now, we have those parents or people out there that say, it is my child, it is my business. I raise my child how I want to raise my child. It is none of our business, but that is a lie.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Because when I do have kids, your child is going to come in contact with my own child, whether it's through school, whether it's through friendships, whether it's through community groups. And your trauma that you have passed to your children will indirectly come in contact with other people's children. So it is dishonest to say that how you raise your child is none of our business, because we all live in a village and one family affects the other.
He's right, you know.
And when one family comes in contact with a healthy family, unfortunately, bad tends to corrupt good way more often than the other way around. And not so many good things happen when this interaction comes into place. This is how trauma is passed from one person to another. And because human beings don't know that they even have or going through a traumatic response, they don't get to even process it and heal from it.
It's an evil world we live in. But hey, I'm gonna keep living.
Trauma is not always linear. It can go from parents to children. It can go from partner to partner. It can go from friend to friend. So when you see yourself exhibiting a type of behavior that is not suitable for human interaction, you have to work on yourself. Now, this is the unfortunate news, because this father, after this video came out, that's when he turned himself in, which is crazy that you think you only have to turn yourself in because you were now exposed. But after he turned himself in, he was released on bond shortly after.
All right, making this right before bed, but he is out of the McLennan County Jail. Fun fact, all you need is 10% of your total bond to bail out, which would be $20,000 for him. I found this out after making this original video. Okay, so lots of people told me this on my Facebook, that he's allegedly an active duty military member at Fort Hood. I can't confirm that's true. I'll get into it in a little bit, but first I want to give you an update on him being in jail. All right, so update number one, he is in the McLennan County Jail, but you see right there, he's in the McLennan County Jail on a $200,000 bond. This is according to the jail's website that I found this out. Next thing about him being a soldier at Fort Hood. Well, I reached out to Fort Hood, and I'm going to show you the response. So this is the graphic that I made. That's the response right there. They gave a statement saying that he is a sergeant. He's a part of the 1st Cavalry Division. And so the spokesperson who emailed me back said that basically they're working with law enforcement, which includes the Waco Police Department, who made this arrest. And then this is the statement that they said. They said, quote, "We are disgusted by that video that has been posted. The behavior of Sergeant Thames does not reflect the values of the 1st Cavalry Division or the U.S. Army." And that's kind of the biggest update with that. I can tell you that the 3-year-old boy, he was released from the hospital. I'm not sure who he's staying with right now. And again, I want to point out that the Waco Police Department did not specify their relationship. They just said that they knew each other. There's lots of speculation online. I cannot confirm any of that. But yeah, that's the latest update with this case.
This type of person should not just be let free back into his house and back into his life like nothing happened, because there's a child in the hospital. And this is a message to everybody out here that if you haven't worked on your issues, because even me and everybody here, we're all growing through our issues every day. Nobody comes from a perfect home. But knowing the issues that you have, actively work on them so you can raise healthy children and have a healthy group of people, have a healthy community, so everybody can be happy, including yourself.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Now, will you be perfect? No, because mistakes happen. You're a human being. But what this man did is not a mistake. It is a crime. And that is the difference. These are the type of men or women that if they can beat their child in this manner, in this way, they can beat their wives, they can beat their husbands, they can fight their friends, they can fight the people that are under them if they're in the corporate field or in the workplace, because they like to abuse their power. They like to abuse the privilege that they have because they know that the victims can't fight back. Anyway, y'all, be watchful of people like this. If you haven't had kids, be careful of who you have kids with, and be watchful of this type of behavior that might come off in a very tricky and subtle way. And if you already have kids, raise them in a healthy way. Don't raise them like this. Work on yourself, because we're all going to be working on ourselves as long as we're alive. So no matter where you are in, start to do better. Because we cannot be passing generational trauma like this, actively knowing that we can do better. Let me know your opinions in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share.